bit behind schedule today. We'll be arriving.
Hello. With this professional development session, we'll be discussing implementations of IEPs in the general education classroom for students receiving special education services under an IEP and 504 plan. We will explore the idea of the difference between accommodations and modifications, what can be used within the classroom, with an IEP or without an IEP. And teachers have been asked to bring current IEPs or 504s from their caseloads or classrooms that are currently giving them difficulties or that they have questions about. Additionally, I have a worksheet for you with 2 columns in it, one for accommodations and one for modifications. We'll be using this worksheet to discern what we have already stored in our personal knowledge bank about what we feel accommodations versus modifications are. So to begin, we'll separate into groups, and I'll give you a moment to do that. And we're going to work together to define accommodation versus modification. Now I'm going to give you 30 seconds within your groups if you could please discuss the difference between modifications and accommodations. Okay, now we've handed out a list of appropriate accommodations and modifications that can be implemented in the classroom. For example, some common accommodations in the classroom include listening to audio recordings instead of reading text, learning content from audiobooks, movies, and videos and digital medias instead of reading print, working with fewer items per page or line, working in text with larger print sizes, having a designated reader or someone who reads test questions aloud to students, hearing instructions spoken out loud, extended time, getting class notes from another student, seeing an outline of a lesson, or getting a written list of instructions. These are all common accommodations within a classroom and do not have to be limited to special education services. These are things that can be put in place by general education classroom teachers to help every general education student reach their potential. As we mentioned before, modifications involve an actual change to curriculum or content. For example, examples of assignment modifications can include completing fewer or different homework problems than peers, writing shorter papers, using different paper topics, answering fewer different test questions, or creating alternate projects or assignments for assessment. Within the classroom, curriculum can be modified by using different learning materials, such as continuing to work on multiplication, while classmates move on to fractions, having the assistance of a number line, getting graded or assessed using different standards than other students, or being excused from particular projects. As mentioned, these involve a change to actual curriculum and the content students are expected to be responsible for. Each teacher in attendance today was asked to bring a problematic 504 or IEP with accommodations or modifications that are unclear or giving them difficulty with implementation within the classroom. Please take your IEPs or 504 plans out now so we can begin to review within our groups. Okay, first we'll discuss our hands-on exploration of IEPs within our departments. Everyone has been grouped within departments. There's the history department, the ELA department, mathematics and science departments, as well as our special arts and culinary departments that are meeting separately. Everyone has a group of highlighters and are highlighting their accommodations within their documents in yellow.
Group 6.
Many teachers are finding it difficult to implement the accommodation of extra time without a specific indication of what extra time is defined as. The extra time accommodation is at the discretion of the teacher. However, it is typically interpreted as time and a half. So, for example, if you had 1 week to complete the assignment, you would have a week and a half to complete the assignment given the extra time accommodation, unless otherwise specifically outlined within the IEP. Now teachers are being asked to go through their 504s that they brought with them, then using their blue highlighter to highlight the modifications found within that 504. as well as accommodations. Teachers are now asked to get into larger groups to discuss their findings within the smaller groups. One of our submitted questions was in regard to grading accommodations. Many students in our school have an accommodation built into their IEP that is actually a modification. This modification includes the lowest grade possible for the student to earn on an assignment before the student is allowed a reteach of that particular topic. This will be determined within the IEP by the student's individual case manager as well as their team. One major issue that we're facing today within special education is an overdiagnosis and an over-application of IEPs to students. We are finding in a recent audit that most students are including mostly just accommodations within IEPs, and most of the accommodations would be available if the student was a general education student and teachers simply implemented these accommodations without the legal document to require it. As a school and as a district, we're taking a hard look at our IEP assignments and our acceptance of students into special education services based on the recommended accommodations and modifications we would find in the first version of their IEP. If these do not include a general change to content or curriculum, then the IEP may not be for the student. They would be placed on the 504 plan, which is more for accommodations and just an ease of access to information. In summary, we've discussed the differences between accommodations and modifications within the IEP and 504 plans for special education students in the general classroom, and how general education teachers are applying and implementing the IEP accommodations and modifications that are found either in the IEP or 504 plan. Hopefully we've outlined accommodations that do not need to be written into an IEP and made those more clear. And those that do need to be written into the IEP should not be implemented unless specifically outlined within that IEP. Please send me with any additional questions, and thank you for your time.